Hey, what's going on, everybody? Let me move this camera just a smidge this way. There we go. A little better. How we doing? How we doing? Thank you for sharing the stream. Um, what's going on, everybody? For Rip the Lip, I'm Ron Thoman. Kyle Hervey, my co-host here, and you're watching Over the Cushion, powered by MCM Contracting, serving the Lehigh Valley for over 33 years, owned and operated by Mark Daniels. The show is all about dirt track racing, covering news, current events, and talking to different drivers every single week. Big thank you to our other sponsors, Bodie Mark Racing, the Shop Automotive Detailing, or the shopdetails.com, Smith Fabrication, Stage 1 Modifieds, DH Graphics, Protect Roofing, and Nate Freed Racing. If you'd like to be a part of the team in the show and want to sponsor the show, go ahead and reach out to me via Facebook Messenger or email me at riptheliptv@gmail.com. We're live every single Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, so if you want to watch these later on, they'll be available on Facebook and YouTube. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Let me get Kyle in here. What's up, Kyle? You got me?
I got you, Ron. How are you?
I am feeling not so great, but, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's not a weekly occurrence anymore.
I know, it's like a never-ending revolving door of sickness for my children. As soon as I get over it, then they started getting sick.
Yeah. Does your wife get sick like you do?
She gets, yeah. I mean, it's just nonstop. Everyone's always sniffling or something. It's
Oh man.
it's like weird when everybody's like healthy.
Yeah, right. It's like this is suspicious. Somebody's
Somebody's
to be sick.
about to get real sick. It's like a movie. So I mean, we've had a little bit of racing going on. Not much.
Not much indeed. Unfortunately, the opening weekend for the Slingshots was canceled.
Unfortunate.
Due to inclement weather.
Well, I don't know how it was down there, but it wasn't. I guess it was pretty crappy up here too. I was gonna say
it was originally calling for like snow and ice, and I think it just rained. Really, I don't know about the last 2 days. They probably could have got today in, but man, it's pretty cold.
Did they post a postponed date or no?
They said that it's postponed. They did not say a date. Unfortunately, my car is currently set up for the Roval, which is a significant amount of work for me to do. And once I turn that car back to get it ready for the beginning of Action Track season, I am not going to do that swap again.
It ain't going back to the Roval, baby. So like we better, I better get her going soon.
I think they're just going to cut their losses and not reschedule it, because once Bridgeport and everything gets rolling, it's probably going to be tough for them to have a 3-day weekend. So if they reschedule it in the next couple weeks and it doesn't interfere with the beginning of the TQ season at the end of April, then maybe we'll try it. I'll leave the car set up till the last minute. So
okay.
Let's just say that. But if Faith starts out racing Action Track and that car is ready for an oval, it's not going back to Roval racing, unfortunately.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it kind of stinks, but we're in that March, April, it's going to rain, snow constantly, so that kind of stinks.
Yeah.
I saw that the midgets were racing that Extreme Series in Jade Avedisian?
Avedisian, yeah.
Avedisian. I can tell I'm stuffed up a little bit. I'm still kind of... yeah, she won, so that's really cool. She's on Keith Kuhn Motorsports, so, he always gives them the best of the best. I think that's probably the biggest team in midget racing, right? I mean, as far as car count?
Yeah.
As far as how many drivers?
I would say, yeah, Keith Coons is number 1, and then Chad Boat is number 2 with the amount of cars. Chad has a lot of stuff. They put together good equipment.
Where do they get all the money from, man? Where does it come from?
Good sponsors put good drivers in the car that draw more good sponsors and winning and everything like that. Chad's dad had been putting together really good midgets for a long time, and then Chad was really good, and now he's running the team, and they always run pretty well.
Micro Sprint Racing. Steven Snyder Jr. wins a big race in the hypercar. I don't know where, but
I thought it was somewhere down further south, but I don't remember. I saw the picture of it, but I didn't.
Same. I just don't know the exactsies of it. Yeah, congrats to him. I mean, dude's a wheelman, so just give him a good ride and he'll be rocking, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, just NASCAR stuff this week.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent
Sammy
race.
Smith won the Xfinity race. He's high schooler. Didn't run any. I think he had one truck start, and they were just like, you know what? Why don't you just run Xfinity? I think he won like 6 ARCA races, and they're like, you know what? Don't even waste your time in the trucks, bro.
Yeah.
and then he outruns Kyle Busch to get the win. So that's kind of cool. Tonight was kind of a boring race, I think, from what I heard.
I thought it was. I didn't think it was terrible. I mean, it was
typical
another Hendrick dominated race with Larson and Byron leading everything. Harvick was a contender there, but got jumbled up on the last couple restarts. And
I know.
and
I
fell
kind of
back
wanted
when he made
I'm not a huge Harvick fan, but I was like, man, it'd be nice for him to win. And then Harrison Burton spins because his tire blows. Then they take 4 tires on the stop. It's like, bro, just take 2. He's the only one that took
William
4.
Byron to do well because I had him in a draft bet or a bet, whatever you want to call it, something. I put money on William Byron. That's all it needs.
We'll have to do like a Friday night bet show or something, and just like lay out our bets and like what the good props are or something. I think if they should elaborate on it and be like each driver can be. I know. Well, that's the hard part. There's not like a specified set drivers that race every single week, right?
I only hit 2 of my bets, which sucks.
I don't care. We can talk about it. Like it can always change, right? Someone can come in and qualify some random person that makes a NASCAR car, right? Like you can just show up to a track with a car and qualify, right? If
no, not in top level and anything else. No, you need
only at Daytona, right? Because like Travis Pastrana was there.
Even that, you need to have a good
like special permission or like a special pass or something.
You got to be able to get like, I don't know the details of it exactly. I know you got to be able to have your hard card and be able to compete at like the top level. I mean, it's similar to Indy. Indy, you have to pass like rookie orientation. NASCAR does something similar. It's just not as intense as IndyCar rookie orientation is apparently really insane, especially at a track like Indianapolis, where they put a spotter in each corner and you have to make laps at different speeds. And when you're not going flat out at Indianapolis in an Indy car, it is trying to kill you because you're not making any downforce. So it's harder to drive an Indy car at a slower speed. So like, and there's a Dinner with Racers is a phenomenal racing interview podcast. I highly recommend it to anybody interested in hearing great interviews.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart talked about when he did rookie orientation, and the Indy cars have what they call like the pop-off valve, which controls the boost pressure. And he went out there, he made his first couple runs and came in. He went to do his last run and he's sitting in the box, and I don't remember who it was, but like the car owner or something like that reached down and cranked the pop-off valve all the way up. And Tony went out there and unofficially ran the fastest lap at Indianapolis ever. And he walked in to see the like spotters after to see if he passed rookie orientation. And apparently they just looked at him and went, "Get out.
Get the hell out of here, bro."
They're like, "You passed, get out." He literally set track record, but because it was rookie orientation and he shouldn't have been running that much boost pressure, they didn't count it. But great interview if you want to listen to that Dinner with Racers.
I will definitely take a look at that for sure. But trying to think, because I think Kyle Larson's going to be doing that, right?
Yes, and he will have to pass like rookie orientation. They do it at a lot of the ovals. I don't know if they do it on road course. They might do it on street courses, but at different ovals. I want to say Texas is one. Indy is definitely one. I'm not sure what other what other ovals they would do.
Huh. That's pretty interesting. I mean, that's kind of nice because then it's like you're not just having like some random like dude with a bunch of money.
Yeah, you don't have me showing up and going out there and junking some shit.
Nah, you got it, man. I believe in you.
That'd be so cool.
But yeah, Byron got the win. That was pretty cool. I really wanted Harvick to get a win, but it is what it is. Yeah, he's crushing, man. Hendricks just, leaps and bounds above everybody else at this point, so that's pretty sweet.
I don't know how much of a difference the different package they ran with the less downforce with the smaller spoiler. Man, that thing was tiny.
They changed it so you have less downforce. They wanted people to actually drive the cars.
They took aero strakes out from underneath the car, which arguably the changing the diffuser and taking the strakes out will make more of a difference.
Okay.
Bless you. By
That
changing the
wasn't me.
underbody pressure. Oh, well, somebody's in here sneezing. But I didn't really tell it made that much a difference. I know I saw guys sliding around a little bit more, but
Yeah, I don't know. I know
still
the
5 and 6 wide. So.
The Hendrick cars got their some sort of vent on the top of their hood confiscated. So we'll see this week with the
their cowling.
Yeah, we'll see how that. I don't know. They'll probably get a big fine or something for something. We don't.
That's only if it's illegal. They might take it back to the R&D center and determine that it's completely legal. And
if they're taking it back, they're going to be like, well, we have to hit them with something.
I don't know if that's a spec part on the new cars or not. If it's a spec part and it's modified, it's illegal. If it's a part that the teams are allowed to develop themselves and it's within the box of the rules, then it's legal. Sure. So they might get told not to come back with it. So, but
yeah, sir, they might. I don't know.
We'll see,
oh man. So let me see here. I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it for racing. I mean, there's really not much going on. Like they wanted to try to get it. They're trying. All these tracks are trying to get stuff up and running, and it's just like it's still March. It's still super wet.
Yeah, like, a lot of stuff canceled this past weekend, like way early in the week.
Yeah, it's tough, man. To try to start this early, it's super tough. But I get it. You want to start as early as possible and just get as much as you can in. But man, I tell you what, you're in Northeast or Pennsylvania or like around here, you're not racing till May probably. So
yeah,
because it always rains on just the weekend. So a couple weeks till Hamlin starts. When's Hamlin start? Bug Day is the 8th. So 3 weeks from this Saturday coming up.
I got too many race cars to put together, man.
Yes, sir. Well, I only got to worry about one track. So
I still don't have wheels for the TQ.
Don't need them. Just go.
Yeah.
Don't need them. All right. So,
right now.
Whoa. Let's see here. So our guest, oh my God, our guest today is Hailey Eroh. I met her at Snydersville at the Thunder on the Ville nights. She won this junior slingshot race. I think she lapped everybody. There was only like 4 cars there or something, but like it wasn't even close. And she has 266 wins from doing karting and 17-point championship. So she's no slouch. She's there to win and get her done. Let's bring Hailey in and talk to her about what she's got going on. You got me, Hailey?
Yeah.
Cool. What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. So what's new in the world of racing for you?
Not really. I mean, we have a race coming up in a few weeks down in Virginia for go-karts. And then when we come back on the 26th, we're going to try to make practice day at Shellhammers with the slingshot.
Very nice, very nice. So speaking of karting, I guess we'll kind of back up a little bit. Did you start in like a go-kart, or did you start in like a quarter midget like Kyle, or where did this all like kind of come about?
I started racing like a little four-wheeler Power Wheel when I was like 1.5. And then when I was 2, I got a 50 four-wheeler.
Okay.
And then I kind of just started from there when my dad got into racing again in 2017, back in go-karts. So kind of went from there. And I wanted to race when he raced at Shellhammers. So then that same week that I said about racing, he got me a cart and then started from there.
That's awesome.
Very nice. Like, so your dad started, you hopped in one, and did you start at Shellhammers? I know that do they race the carts there, or are there other places like Snydersville that you would usually run?
Yeah, my first race was at Shellhammers, and then we went to Snydersville, I think, for like my second or third race, but I started out at Shellhammers.
Nice. That's like a nice little track, some good banking. You probably just wide open the whole time, but I mean, you have like over 250 wins. How many different cars do you run in like a normal day? how many different divisions are you running in like one night, basically? Because like that's a lot of wins and a lot of championships.
Yeah, we usually race about like 2 or 3 classes a night because my dad never wants to go there to race one class. So
that's
we usually
boring.
yeah, we usually race as much as we can.
I dropped something. Go ahead, Kyle. I dropped something.
What?
I dropped something. I'm trying to pick it up.
So how long ago did you start racing in the slingshot?
I actually started racing just last summer.
And how do you like that transition going from go-karts to the slingshot?
I mean, the slingshot is like a lot more fun than go-karts, but I think I like the slingshot more.
Yeah, it's definitely different having a suspension under you. The whole car just drives different and feels different going around the track. So are you planning to run both the slingshot and the go-kart full time this season?
Yeah, it's like some places we're racing for points for the go-karts, but we're trying to make every Wingless Wednesday race and then some of like the national races with the slingshot.
That's cool. I know Ron said you raced Snydersville, and I know you're racing Shellhammers. Have you run any other tracks?
I raced at Kutztown, but that was really the only track.
And how do you like the difference between going from those short bull ring style tracks to something bigger and faster like Kutztown?
I liked it. It's just like the bumps were kind of annoying, but
Yeah.
That's like everyone kind of doesn't like the bumps there. But I mean, you don't have much suspension, but I'm sure it's much more comfortable than those go-karts because they don't have anything, right?
no.
That's gotta be rough, man.
You gotta. The Kutztown will take a while with. It is one of the roughest tracks. Linda's can get pretty rough like that too, but you got to learn how to read where the ruts are forming and how you can actually use them to get more grip. I feel like that's always something that I was able to learn and capitalize on more at Kutztown to get bigger runs on people. It takes time, and it's definitely rough on you as a driver getting used to it, but it's a good learning experience.
Yeah.
So like I saw your picture of your all-star slingshot. Are you just skipping over juniors? You're like, no, I don't need that stuff. I want to race with the best.
No, we're staying in the juniors this year.
Oh, okay. I thought it said all-star. I maybe it did say all-star, but they meant junior. I don't know. Well, you definitely put on a show at Snydersville last time. I mean, it wasn't even close. Are you gonna try to run points there for the juniors, or are you just going here and there?
Yeah, just here and there, like maybe for like some money races, but they usually don't have a lot of junior slingshots, but I mean, at least it's something.
At least it's something. Yeah, I mean, some tracks the juniors are more popular than the all-stars. Like Hamlin, we'd always have a full field of juniors, and then the all-stars were kind of lacking last season, but when you go to Kutztown, you're going to definitely have your hands full, I would assume. So like you said you started around 2017. When you actually started 2017?
Yes.
Okay, so you're racing a couple years. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 13.
Oh, so you're just ready to... So you can only run the junior this year. You can't run it next year. There's like an age limitation, so you might as well get the 1 year in the juniors in there.
Now, Shellhammers will let you run both juniors and all-stars, and honestly, the juniors are just as fast as the all-stars on most nights. Do you think you'll do any double duty in the slingshot running both classes this year just to get experience?
Some.
Yeah.
Some of the races? Okay.
Only on like the Saturdays, because we race there for like Saturdays and Wednesdays too.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying maybe for like the Saturdays.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The track from Wednesday to Saturday at Shellhammers changes drastically for the slingshots, in my opinion. I always enjoyed the Wednesday shows better.
Yeah, because like Saturday it's more just for like the go-karts than like the slingshots.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they do both nights, because they just have a lot of people that want to race there, but they can't, you can't fit enough people in there to run all those classes in one night, because the pits are so tiny. I don't know, it's just, because I know like Greenwood Valley, they run the carts too, but they run them like really early in the day, and then he grades the track, and then the 600s and the 270s take over. Um, have you ever raced like on tracks that will do that, where it's like they'll run super early in the day, so it's really hot out and dry and like dusty?
No, not really.
No, just at night. Well, that's probably better then. So what's the kind of the goal for racing right now? Is it just you're focused on the kind of day to day, trying to get your footing in this new class, or like what's the, I guess not end goal, but like, do you see yourself in like a bigger car, like a sportsman or a modified or maybe a sprint car in the future?
Yeah, this year I actually got a ride for a sportsman to race only some races at Big Diamond for the rookie class. So I'm really excited
Really?
about that.
That's so sick.
It's gonna
So
be
Yeah.
awesome.
that's super cool. Oh my gosh, I wish they, because like I think Dirt Track Digest does the videos for them. So you'll have to let us know what the dates are. Maybe we'll rent. I could like rent it. We'll have like a watch party or something. I think that'd be super cool, just to see how you do in a big car, because that weight transfer is going to be. I don't even want to say it's going to be a learning curve, because you have raced so much, probably more than most people that are in that same spot. Like the amount of wins and championships you have, is that within the like what three, is that within what 5 or 6 years you've accumulated those?
Yeah, about like 6 or 5, but
That's
yeah.
incredible. You must have been winning every single, like multiple times a night.
Yeah, so we had 7 championships last year.
Holy cow!
Lord.
Yeah, we raced a
How
lot.
many races are you running? Because I talked to your, I think I talked to your dad a little bit after the night that I met you, and he wanted me to come to, I think, an asphalt race or something. But no, he's like, yeah, we just kind of make it work and get you in the seat as much as possible. That's incredible, man. I mean, winning one championship a year seems like enough work. Because those little carts, don't you have to do a lot of tire prep on those, right?
Yes, a lot.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Like, so like I would say, I don't know, Kyle, you've done the quarter midget thing. I don't know if they do the tire prep stuff, but like the amount of
Yeah.
time you take to like disassemble the car and set it up, it's probably the amount of time that they use tire prep.
The go-kart guys go way harder on the tire prep, but it's still huge in quarter midgets. We didn't go crazy having multiple different preps that we'd run, but
Yeah.
we had one that worked, and that's what we just ran all the time. And we'd show up with a couple sets ready to go. But I mean, I see people showing up for one race at a go-kart with 10 sets of tires
Oh
for
my
different
god,
temperature ranges and different track conditions, and it's
that's
pretty
nutty.
insane. Luckily, the tires are small, so it doesn't take a ton of time to do that. But I think it's the fact that the go-karts don't have the suspension, so your tires are your suspension, and your chassis
Ah,
flexing is. So your tires have to be on point with that. The quarter midgets have shocks and springs on them, like a slingshot,
oh,
so
yeah, I didn't
you
know
can
that.
get a little bit more dialed with just this setup on a quarter midget.
Mm-hmm. Haley, could you like, for people who don't know what tire prep is, could you explain that maybe a little bit?
I mean, like you usually like you just sand them and you prep them like throughout like the week. Like you set up like certain days and you prep them during the week, and then sometimes like people prep them at like the track too.
Is there like a
So it's a
certain
lot
like
different.
substance you use to like coat them or submerge them or something? I'm this is completely new to me. Like I like to follow like the bigger cars, so like any kind of the small uh cart and small car stuff is kind of foreign to me, and I have no idea what that entails.
Yeah, we have Cole Aki doing our stuff, and he helps with like our tires, and like we go there to, like scale too. Sometimes we were actually just there yesterday to pick up my 3 go-karts for this year.
Okay, so there's like a certain person that, you know, his job is literally just to set up the cars, or just do the tires.
Yeah, to do the tires too, but we
Holy
only have
crap.
them doing for like other races, but like local stuff, we usually do our own tires.
Gotcha. And when I was at Snydersville, I saw they were like using paintbrushes and all sorts of like, I I mean, I was watching those little remote control cars, and the one guy like he like brushed this stuff on these tires and then just like lit them on fire.
Yep.
Do you ever light your tires on fire?
Yeah, we usually do that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, tire prep is a science. The go-kart people, there are certain people that are your go-tos. Like one guy that I'm friends with that does it is like Doug Sturley. He's really good with tire prep stuff, and there's so many different. You can mix your own. You can buy pre-made stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
There's a website that I would go to, and because on the TQ and at some places on the micro, you might wipe tires. But with the TQ, it's a little bit of a bigger thing. There are so many different brands of tire prep. There's so many different tire preps that are different chemicals for different temperature ranges, different track types. Then your dirt and your asphalt preps are going to be different. I mean, a basic, like some people in their garage, you're going to mix something like automatic trans fluid, brake fluid, or like WD-40 with mineral spirits. Generally, it's some sort of oil mixed with some sort of solvent that's going to open up the pores in the rubber and let it go in and soak into the rubber. And you can prep from the inside, you can prep from the outside, and it changes how the tires last. You can add certain things to cool the tires off more. You can add certain things to heat the tires up more. It's insane. It's difficult if you're trying to make your own prep to get it running right. Like in quarter midgets, we always made our own stuff, but
really,
it's
I didn't know it was this like big of
it's involved.
Oh my god! No wonder they don't let people do it in the bigger series. That would be it's awful if they had to do it on a big American racer like a 44 or something. Oh my god, that would be torturous.
And prep can be anywhere from like $80 a gallon to I have seen $180 a gallon for different preps from different guys.
God. Well, at least those kart tires are small. My goodness, I didn't know this was like that's like, man. When you say you're a tire specialist for a go-kart team, like you are not playing games, boy. you are deep. Oh my gosh. Well, dang. So, I mean, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Kyle. I'm just like flabbergasted at this point.
I'll talk to you some other time in more detail about it, Ron.
We'll do a whole episode on tire prep.
There you go. So, Hailey, do you run pavement stuff as well?
Yeah, I raced at Mahoning for like the 1,000 to win sometimes, and then I also raced just one race at Orville this year.
So, during this season, how far are you guys traveling around the country to go race the go-kart stuff?
Well, I mean, like the farthest we've ever went was Virginia for like Turkey Trot and Spring Gobbler, which is like a big races like in the beginning of the year and in the end of the year. But we traveled like Sealands Grove, Seven Stars, like maybe like 2 hours away.
I love Sealands Grove. I love Sealands Grove.
Wait,
so
Sealands
much.
Grove has an asphalt track?
No, that's a dirt track. In the infield of the big track. That's where they'd run the slingshots. We haven't been there in years, but it's like it's the reddest clay I've seen in anywhere in PA. It is so nice to race on.
Oh my gosh! And Sealands Grove got the big track too. You guys ran on.
Yeah.
But speaking of big tracks, Hailey, did you see that video of someone running a go-kart on Daytona? At the NASCAR track?
Yeah.
Would you ever be like okay with doing that, or is that kind of just like a little too much?
I mean, my dad did it.
That just seems so risky because it's like there's no roll cages, right? You're just at least on that kind of cart. Like that, I don't know what kind of cart it was. It was just the one with the big fenders that go around the front.
Yeah, it was no roll cage.
Oh my gosh, I can't even. And there, he was going like $130 or something. He was cooking.
The video you're talking about was a twin engine cart, I believe. Hailey, what did your dad run there? Was it with 2 engines or just one?
Flathead, just one.
Okay. Yeah, I think there were some of those in the video that you're talking about as well, Ron. Man, I'd love to do that. I think I said that a couple episodes ago. It looks so cool.
It looks cool, but Mike, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a race car driver because you guys are like, yeah, that's sweet. I'm going to go do that. And I'm just like, that looks terrifying. Like, if I was strapped into a car with a roll cage, sure. But, like, that guy was going really, really fast.
I don't think a roll cage is going to do much at that speed in a go-kart.
Probably not. Hailey, have you ever raced any, like like road course style things, like up at, where is it, Oakland Valley? They have those little two-stroke carts.
At Orville, Alex Greenswag, he let me take out his road course cart just for, like, at the end of the day for, like, just to get laps around. But it was pretty cool.
Yeah, those things are pretty quick. I know a friend of the show, Braden Traver, he runs those at Oakland Valley, and he was really really good at them, and now he's over in the junior slingshots, that he's so smooth. I don't know if it's just like the karting thing, because like you, when I saw you running at Snydersville, it was just like super consistent, hitting your marks every time. Like there's no bobbles or anything. Is that like a karting thing? You have to be that much smoother than everyone else just to keep that speed, because there's just so much like small areas to gain speed in those carts.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you could, like, be in second and, like, the guy in first could, like, be messing up and stuff, but, like, you just gotta be consistent. You could, like, catch him and, like, maybe win. Like, I've had that happen to me a few times, too.
Oh, happened to you? Oh, no. That's...
Well, like, I, like, caught up to him.
Oh,
I
was like... I'm thinking, like, they're not catching you. If you get out front, it's probably game over. They probably hate seeing you pull into the pits at this point.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that like when you're racing karts competitively, I guess, like for championships or anything like that, is anybody specifically that you're like, man, I don't want to race against them, or like it's like, tonight just got a lot harder because they showed up?
I mean, not really. Like, the main thing, like, if I see someone, like, is really good, it just pushes me to, like, do better and really try.
Yeah, that's always the best, to have motivation like that. And sometimes it's good to be hated when you pull into a track and everybody hangs their head a little bit because they know they're racing for second place.
Yes.
Now, I know some of these go-kart races around the country run for big money. Have you run any of the big money races or won any of the big money races?
I mean, like, Zach Course Memorial at Snydersville was, like, 1,000 or over 1,000, I forget, to win, but I got second in that. But, like, the most I won was probably 250 or 500.
Yeah, because during COVID, there was a go-kart track that's from down south that put on an iRacing league that they were supposed to have like a 10,000 to win race. I think it was Triple T Raceway. They were supposed to have like a 10,000 to win go-kart race, and they ended up putting it into an iRacing pool, but they ended up not having the race. They had like qualifiers for it that paid pretty well. There was like a late model series or something and a 360 sprint car series, but I think they went back racing and had the actual event for 10 grand in real life. I mean, you win pretty good money in a go-kart.
Like I'm sure it would take a lot to get a winning go-kart together, but man, sign me up, bro.
About 100 tires.
About 100 million tires. Speaking of iRacing, Hailey, do you do any sim stuff or any iRacing?
Yeah, I have iRacing, but I haven't played it in a while.
Do you think that when you did use it, were you using it during racing season? Did it help you at all? At any? I mean, obviously you're not running the same tracks, but like just getting the feel of racing maybe a bigger car or something like that.
Well, I got it for Christmas a couple years ago, so I mean it's just the off season that I really did it a lot.
Because I know a lot of drivers, they're starting to do it a lot more. Like our friend Nate is moving in from an All-Star Slingshot into a 600 micro sprint, so he's been running the midgets on there like probably every single day, just trying to get the feel of how a sprint car kind of works. And I mean the NASCAR people, they use it constantly. The trucks, Xfinity, I mean they're like required in their contracts to do sim stuff. I mean obviously the sims at like Ford and stuff are like insane, but I don't know, it might be something to like look into just to keep your skills sharp, especially on the off season when you're not running as much when it gets cold.
Practicing the modifieds, I think, would be a huge help.
There you go.
Yeah, because it's like really realistic too.
Yeah, I think do they have the sportsman on there?
No,
or they just the big blocks.
Small block and big block, but
run the small blocks.
Yeah, you could tune down the small block a little bit and run a track that's going to be. I'm trying to think what would be similar to Diamond, but I'm sure you could find something that it's going to help a lot. The only thing that's going to be super different is the seating position getting into a modified from a cart or a slingshot where you're kind of laid down.
Oh yeah, because you're kind of like in the slingshot. At least for me, I'm too tall. I have to the seat has to be kind of lean back because my head hits the roof. But I mean, you're not really sitting straight up, right? Even if you're like a smaller person.
No. I mean, the modified is the pedals are right underneath of you, basically.
Oh,
and
so comfy.
The slingshot, it's in front of you. No, I don't like that. I like being laid down, but it's just
you like laying down?
Yeah, pretty much.
What? Well, what about when you go to what if you drove a 360 or something? I mean, that steering wheel is literally like right there. Like you're like sitting up in a chair having dinner and you're driving a race car.
Yeah. I don't know. It would be weird. I like feeling like I'm sitting on the floor. I mean, even in my street car, I'm sitting on the floor with my feet straight out. So
really, is that how it works in the TQ for you too?
Oh yeah, everything's the same.
Oh my gosh!
The slingshot, the micro, the TQ, and go karts. You're all kind of
really?
Go kart. You're really laid down, especially if you're trying to get your body out of the wind. But
Hailey? Is that the same for you from a go kart to getting fitted for your slingshot? Did you prefer to be more laid down or more sitting up straight?
I prefer to be like more laid down because I remember like when we went over to the guy's shop and I sat in the Sportsman, like I was really surprised how like you're just sitting straight up and the pedals are like right underneath you.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm saying. That's gonna be that's the one thing you can't get used to in iRacing. Maybe if you have a desk chair set up, put the pedals right underneath you at an angle or something to try and just get used to it, because I think that's going to be your biggest hurdle getting in. That is just the driving position is going to be so different from what you're used to.
Yep. My biggest hurdle was actually getting in the car, because like when you sit on the edge, right, and you go to like get in, if you don't like put your feet in the right spot, then they kind of get, maybe that's just me because I'm just like too tall or fat or something. Like I can't fit. No, but I mean, I like the way that he's kind of sitting them, because you can see everything, and you feel like, well, when I drove, it was like my arm kept hitting the seat. Yeah. So I ended up just driving strictly with my left hand. So I was trying to just keep my hands at 10 and 2, and every time I was counter steering, my elbow was hitting the seat. I don't know, maybe that's just because it was just my uncle's seat or something.
You can move your hands when you turn the wheel, Ron.
Nope. I didn't do that bad, but still, maybe this year I'll get another chance at it, and I'll just be more, aware of what's going on. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like where it's sitting, and you can see everything, and I don't know, maybe it's just I never drove carts and stuff, It wasn't my deal.
You're too tall.
Nick Biscotti says, "Let's go, Hailey." Big old capitals. Thanks for the comment.
Now, Hailey, you talked about your dad racing go-karts as well. Has he raced anything else, and have you guys raced against each other?
No, he's just been like in go-karts, but one time at Oroville a couple years ago, we went out with each other and I put him in the grass.
Oh!
That's the way to do it. Let them know who's boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is my track, Pops. Get out of here. Oh fun. My gosh. I would love to see the revenge. Let's get a cart together and we'll I think it'd be fun to drive carts, man. They look like super fun. They just don't the power is not there, so it's like you have to be super smooth and consistent. I would assume, just because, like, I don't know. I've only watched the carts once, and it was at Snydersville, and it was just like, once everyone got in line, unless you, like, gave somebody a shot to get them out of the way, it was just nonstop back and forth. You know what I mean? I don't know. What are your thoughts on the go-karts? Are you, like, excited to move up, or are you kind of sad because of how dominant you are in the go-karts?
Yeah, I'm ready to move up, but we just because we know a lot about the go-karts, and like moving up we're not gonna know a lot about it, so we're gonna get frustrated that we're struggling.
You might just start winning. You never know. You might just hit on something and just like crush it, man. Because if you already have that muscle memory of being super smooth, like that's what you want in the slingshot. Minimal. I mean, Kyle could probably attest to it more. I've only driven it a little bit, but like minimal. Wheel movement and just like consistency and momentum, right? Right, Kyle?
Yeah.
Momentum.
Yeah, I would say once you figure out the suspension and suspension adjustments, all your other adjustments are going to be pretty similar. And yeah, being smooth in the slingshot is huge. Not having the car where you have to counter steer one way or the other, super big, and scrub speed. It's going to be the same principle basically. The modified is going to be a different story, but yeah, the slingshot's going to drive similar to a go-kart basically, just a little bit faster, a little bit more tire to lean on, and having the suspension.
Now, do you ever? So you're pretty much locked in for Shellhammers the entire season. We'd love to have you up at Hamlin, because Hamlin's a pretty technical track. I think it's got a tight turn in 1 and 2, and then a big sweeping turn in 3 and 4, and there's a lot of good competition up there.
Yeah, we're hoping to get to those tracks, but mostly like some Saturdays at Shellhammers are like what we're shooting for.
Gotcha. Because we do have some. I think we have a Super National weekend, and then we also have. Hamlin does a Rising Stars series throughout the year. There's still points races normally, but they have like a small series that happens a couple weekends throughout the year, and then they have a nice big trophy and stuff they give away. What else? I think we have a, like I said, Super National. I think the All Stars have a, what do they call it, a Hamlin 50 or something. Yeah. Toward the end of the year. It's not the firecracker one, or it's not the 4th of July one. It's like in August or something.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Hopefully we can get some more sponsors, get that number up real high, get some more people coming.
Billy LaRue says nobody wins Motorama first try. She's a natural. That's pretty cool.
Very cool, very cool. A lot of nice comments tonight. Lots of good praise.
Now, I know you said you're racing the modified this year. What are your ultimate goals, or what are you looking to try and end up in racing?
My main goal is to make it into a late model.
Why the late model?
I don't know, like they just always like inspired me. Like I don't know, I just liked them ever since I was like 10.
Yeah, for sure. The late models are cool cars. I'd love to drive them as well. Unfortunately, they're not super popular in this area. No. I know Western Pennsylvania, they're a little bit bigger, and I always love seeing them race and seeing them with the what's the big show? Is that the World of Outlaws? Yeah.
That's the Lucas
show.
Oil ones. You can watch those on Mav TV. Those are those big block motors though. Different, like Georgetown, they run the super late models, I think too. There's other places that run like this. They'll just throw a crate motor in there, and you just putz around. But what I think what Kyle meant was what are your expectations for the few races that you get to run the Sportsman this year? Like, are we just trying to, get laps in? Are we trying to see, feel it out? Maybe win a race.
Yeah, just to get some laps in and maybe like top 5 or hopefully, but just so like experience.
Well, from my experience watching these rookie races, I mean, once you get a handle of it and you get some nice smooth laps, if you can get out in front, I don't see why you couldn't win a race, to be honest. You've already got the fundamentals kind of down pat, so once you can get a nice smooth lap in, you just repeat it over and over like any other race car. I don't know, I could see you winning a race, to be honest.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think you got that. You could just be like, yeah, first time out in the car, I won a race.
That would be awesome to see.
Yeah, you'll just have to let us know the dates that you're going to do it, and then we'll have to watch on DTD.
Yeah.
For sure.
I will.
Good. Let's see. We got a bunch of comments here. Colin Carpenter. I've raced against Hailey. She's so smooth and consistent. She is a phenomenal driver. Trey. I don't know how to say the last name. Hailey, don't suck this year. Got some.
Yeah, that's our joke. Me and my dad, we always say, don't suck.
That's funny. That's something that I always tell my friends and stuff. And my parents are like, why are you so mean? I'm like, what? I'm just telling them not to suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what everyone else's reaction is.
It's like, it's good advice, man. Just don't.
I mean, I feel like I'm setting the bar pretty low here. I'm not telling you to go out there and win. I'm just telling you don't suck this week,
Kyle, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Brink.
I have not.
Okay, never mind. Then I will not even say it because it's an old Disney Channel movie, and it's like about skating competitions, and they're like, just skate better. But I'm too old for that reference apparently because nobody else knows it. It's from like the early '90s.
Dennis is asking for some slingshot swag. Get some merchandise made.
Yeah, you got any like merchandise coming up this year for your first year in the slingshot or in the carts?
No, not yet. We have to put another order in though because everyone like keeps asking, but you don't get to that.
Good problems to have.
You gotta give them what they want. Give the people what they want. They just want a bunch of T-shirts.
Yeah.
Is there any plans for the future of I guess plans for this season to do maybe different? Not different, like some just different apparel, maybe hats or maybe a shirt with just a slingshot on it, or is it just strictly kart stuff still?
Well, what I want to do is like hopefully like some like a shirt that has a slingshot and a go-kart on it and to show that we drove both.
Yeah. I mean, I bet if you go to like what is it, Bob Hilbert Sportswear, I think they do a lot of people's stuff, like a lot of slingshot drivers. I think they did the Hoax, right? They did Dylan Hoax shirt and stuff. I don't know how long they take just because they probably get a ton of orders being like Short Track Super Series main sponsor, but like I would look at that because they've done stuff for people that run two different divisions. I think even Danny Buckafuska, he's got all three of his cars on one shirt. He's got the Slingshot, the Sportsman, and the 600.
Yep. Yeah, I'd also recommend Natural Design Co. If you look him up on Facebook. That's my buddy Timmy Solomito. Races Modifieds, races TQs. Really cool dude, and he does really, really good work.
I want to check out High Side Apparel because he was on the show as well. Don't forget High Side Apparel. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
Good. That's one of look, he's got a. If you look at his hat, High Side.
Everything's High Side.
Very nice. Nick Piscotti says, "Still wear your Eroh sweatshirt down in Florida." Very nice. We were wearing a sweatshirt in Florida, man. I heard it's like 80 degrees down there, bro. My parents just came back from bike week, and they're like, "Yeah, it was like 80 degrees the whole time." I'm like, welcome back to the 20-degree weather.
Hailey, do you still have any bucket list go-kart races or any slingshot races that you'd like to check off?
Well, hopefully some like national races for the slingshot, and for the go-karts, the Zach Korch Memorial. It's something that I really want to win.
Cool.
Do they give you like a big trophy or anything to like commemorate it, or is it just a special race to you or like the karting community?
Yeah, it's a special race because he was really close to us and he passed away, so I really want to get that for him.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's tough, but I mean, it's nice that they're, able to set up these kind of races to commemorate really special people in the community and stuff. And I hope you definitely get it this year for sure.
Yeah, last year at Shellhammers, I led 50 out of 55 of the laps, and then at the Snydersville one, I ended up getting third at the Shellhammers one, but for Snydersville, I ended up getting second. And I led a few of them, and then like 5 to go, got passed, and then I just couldn't keep up with them.
Dang, that's rough. I mean, I don't know. I've never led a race, but I mean, that's gotta suck. Just leading so many laps. It doesn't matter what the race is. Leading that many laps, and then just like, is it? So here's a question for you. In that same regard, do you feel better being in the lead or in second place? Like throughout a race, like obviously you want to be in the lead and you want to win, but like, do you think it's more of a mind game just to be like, all right, I'll just ride behind this person until like 3 or 5 to go, and then I'll pass them?
Yeah, like sometimes like when you're in second, I mean, it's not like as much pressure as leading because I mean like you don't know where they are, what they're trying to do, like if you have a big lead or not. But like second, you can kind of like work around, but then like as laps are like winding down, it just like gets nerve-wracking.
I don't even know. I mean, it's probably even worse as you get higher up and into faster and faster cars. Like The stress. Like, do you remember your first win in a go-kart?
I mean, not really. I mean, like a little bit. I got it at Shellhammers
Too many
in
wins. Now it's all drowned out by all these wins.
20.
I was gonna see if it was like how you were feeling or how special it was to like get your first win in a race car, basically. Because I don't know, that's like a big turning point for a lot of drivers is getting that first win, and it just like catapults you into this like frenzy of just working even harder to replicate that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember because like it was in 2018 and like I was just really starting, so I didn't really like know like how like much like racing really meant to me. Like as like I started getting older and stuff, and like the win started like feeling more good.
Yeah, I definitely understand that, but it's like I don't know. I like to ask drivers about their first wins. But
Yeah.
Kyle, what about your first win? Do you remember that? How long ago was that?
2002 maybe. I don't even remember. I
2002?
don't remember either. Yeah. In quarter midgets,
Before she was born, bro.
yeah, I vaguely remember it. But I know I think it was on my uncle's birthday, and we had been racing about a year. We didn't win in my first season, and then all I really remember is in quarter midgets. Once I clicked off that first win, they just kept coming, and I feel like Haley would Haley would have a similar story with the go kart. Once you get the first one, they just start coming easier and easier.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, like you get like the gist of it, so you kind of get like we know what we're doing sometimes.
Yeah,
I
you
think
just
you
get
definitely
that.
know what you're doing.
You get,
Oh,
get
so
I think you're good.
you get the taste of
Contracts.
victory, and you just don't want to give it up.
Yeah.
True. I always thought that was such a funny thing is like drivers sometimes they don't like remember their first win, you know what I mean, the one that started it all basically. So it's like uh I don't know. It's just because, like, in my mind, I've never won a race or had the opportunity to win one, so I'd be like, I will remember this for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? If it ever probably will never happen, but still, like, it's just it's interesting, especially since drivers start so young now that if you win a race when you're 5 or 6, it's like by the time you're like 12 or 13 or 15, 16, like, there's no way you're gonna remember how that felt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I honestly only remember maybe two slingshot, or not even two quarter midget wins that come to mind. I don't even remember my first slingshot win, to be honest.
Do you have?
Yeah, my
Oh, go ahead.
My first slingshot win was actually we got the car at on the Tuesday, the day before Wingless Wednesday, and we finished fourth. And then that same week, we went to Shellhammers for a regular Saturday night, and I won. So that was kind of cool, like second time in the car and won.
Like, what's your most memorable win? If you can, like, what's the one that stands out the most?
Um, Probably when I went down to Spring Gobbler at Capital City, because it was like caution two to go, and I was just patient until 3 and 4 on the checkers, and then I won. But I feel like that's like what stood out, because that was like my first like big win, because like all those like local like money races, but that one was like kind of big for me.
That's awesome. All right, I guess I mean we're gonna start winding down here a little bit. We're getting close to the 9 o'clock mark, but I guess usually at the end we'll give the floor to our guest here, and the floor is yours. If you have social media, Facebook pages, sponsors, people that helped you, kind of now's the time to shout them out and just give them praise for getting you to where you're at right now.
Yeah, I like to thank Higgy for buying. So I got a ride also for to ride or to race down south more. So thanks to Higgy for buying that cart, and then Drake for taking care of the tires and the engines, and Harry Bird because I also got a ride in a microstock for this year. Doug
Nice.
Potts for the slingshot, and Cole Aki for the tires and all the support, and Higgy for all our motors. we race with karts, and thanks to Stu and my mom, my dad, and my grandma.
Very nice. Any specific sponsors that you have this year that you want to shout out?
PA Lawn and Landscaping.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really like the most major one that we got.
All right, very nice. And where can they find you on social media? I guess are you just on Facebook? Are you on TikTok, Instagram, anything like that?
We have Hailey Eroh Racing on Facebook.
Okay.
And that's really it.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I appreciate you coming on tonight and talking with us, and just kind of giving us a rundown of your illustrious racing career so far, and what the plans are for the future here. Kyle, you got anything else?
Yeah, it sounds like you're a very talented driver, and as you get older, I look forward to seeing different divisions you move up into and following your career.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Well, I appreciate you being on the show tonight and taking the time to come talk to us. And we just definitely look forward to seeing your name, top the speed charts in different divisions as you move up and get older. And we'll definitely have to try to make our way down to the Shellhammers at some point and see what it's all about, I guess. And good luck this year in the kart and the slingshot and the sportsman as well. Definitely keep in touch. Let us know when you're actually going to be running the sportsman, and maybe a picture of the car so we know what to look for. But we definitely would like to watch one of those races if we can, or just even just a replay on our end. But just appreciate you taking the time to come talk with us, and good luck to you in this upcoming season.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on here.
No problem. Thanks for everybody that watched, and the comments are amazing. I love when we get a bunch of people in here just chatting and talking, and especially all the praise that you were giving the driver tonight. So that's super awesome. Engagement's amazing on these things. So any and all engagement, likes, comments, shares, all that good stuff. So definitely really appreciate everyone tuning in and watching that. So that's super cool. We'll be back next week, 8 p.m. I believe we have Jordan Tittle. He's a 600 microsprint driver from Hamlin Speedway. So that'll be super fun. So you'll see some posts out this week. So thanks again for everyone.